Hey and welcome to the daily Manchester United news show. Let's begin with our daily news. Paul McGrath urges a special Manchester United teenager to become first team starter. Former Manchester United defender Paul McGrath wants Alejandro Garnacho to kick on to a new level next season. A year ago, Alejandro Garnacho was winning the FA Youth Cup for Manchester United. He is now a regular in the first team with 5 goals this season. McGrath doesn't want Garnacho to get too comfortable in his current role, in which he has made his biggest contributions as an impact substitute. He is calling on the teenager to kick on further next season and nail down a spot as a first team starter. Manchester United fans erupted at the weekend as Alejandro Garnacho scored the team's second goal in the victory over Wolves in injury time. Garnacho had only been on the pitch for 8 minutes, making his return after 2 months out with injury. Former United centre-back Paul McGrath labelled Garnacho as a special and wants him to take the next step next season. McGrath told Sunday World, "To me, this lad is special, a real talent as he showed with the second goal, but he ought to be a first teamer now, a player the club can rely on. The early months of next season will be big for Garnacho and a few other young lads. They need to convince their manager they are made of the right stuff. And of course, they will have to do it against a background of Ten Hag buying more good players for the club, because United are going to stiffen their squad in June and July. Be sure of that." Garnacho was praised after Manchester United's win by manager Erik Ten Hag for making an instant impact. The victory pushed United a step closer to sealing Champions League qualification, with 2 wins from the last 3 games required. Getting to play in Europe's elite competition will be another exciting opportunity for Garnacho, and one he will relish. Manchester United goalkeeper Dean Henderson shares expected return date following successful surgery. It seems like almost a lifetime since Dean Henderson set foot on the pitch for Manchester United or last up his training boots at Carrington. The United keeper has been on loan at Nottingham Forest, but is set to return to Old Trafford in the summer. It has not been smooth sailing for the 26-year-old. Henderson has been at the club since age 14, but appearances for his boyhood team have been few and far between. Before his loan spell at the City Ground began, he had just 3 appearances for United in the previous season. Those appearances included 1 in the League Cup, 1 in the FA Cup, and 1 in the Champions League. Before that, he featured just 29 times across all competitions for the Red Devils following his return from a 2-year loan stint at Sheffield United. Of those 29 appearances, Henderson secured 13 clean sheets. This term, the shot-stopper has been plagued by injury, keeping him off the field for the second half of the season. The last occasion he took to the field came on January 14. He suffered a torn thigh during loan club Nottingham Forest 2-0 win over Leicester. However, there is light at the end of the tunnel following a successful surgery. Via Manchester Evening News, speaking to BBC Radio 5 Live, the recovering goalie said, "All good, the operation, all went to plan. I had a surgery on an ongoing issue and hopefully I'll be back on the pitch for the start of pre-season." Meanwhile, David De Gea's position as United's first-choice keeper is quickly becoming less certain. The Red Devils' number 1 goalkeeper has made numerous keeping errors, leading to the team conceding goals. Whether Erik Ten Hag will look to Henderson as a replacement stands to be seen. Alternatively, the manager may consider a change of personnel from further afield. Whether Henderson stays at the Theatre of Dreams or applies his trade elsewhere will only be revealed after September 1. What is certain is that after a prolonged time away, Henderson will be keen to get between the sticks and prove his mettle. Avram Glazer remains tight-lipped when questioned about Man United's imminent takeover. Manchester United co-owner Avram Glazer remained silent when questioned about the club's takeover process and when it could be completed. Glazer was present at Wembley for the women's team's FA Cup final against Chelsea. Marcus Skinner's players put up a brave fight against the Blues, but Sam Kerr's second half goal was enough to give Chelsea victory against the Red Devils. A video that has surfaced on social media shows Avram walking within the stadium where he was questioned about the takeover process and how it's going. The 62-year-old was asked, "How long is the sale going to take?" The American businessman intentionally ignored the question and walked by without acknowledging it. The People's Person covered a report which indicated that the principal bidders of the club, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, are wary of a ploy by the Glazers to squeeze more money out of them. It was thought that Sir Jim was leading the race to buy United, but according to the report, the Ineos billionaire, much like Sheikh Jassim, is still in the dark regarding who is the preferred bidder, and when the takeover will officially conclude. It was also relayed that Sheikh Jassim is plotting a record £6 billion offer that would blow Sir Jim out of the water and ensure he emerges victorious in his efforts to take over the reins at Old Trafford. Glazer's failure to give a response means that fans are still in limbo as to who the next custodian will be and whether indeed the Glazers will finally leave. The biggest concern, however, remains that the new owner may not be in place in time for the summer transfer window. Erik ten Hag requires massive backing, and as it stands, all transfer plans and their execution remain pending. Man United must beat Arsenal to sign off Mohammed Simakan this summer. Manchester United must beat Arsenal to the signing of RB Leipzig defender Mohammed Simakan this summer. The Frenchman has had a fine season in the German top flight, and it was recently reported that United and Arsenal have inquired over his availability. The 23-year-old is predominantly a central defender, but he has been a versatile presence for Leipzig this term, having also operated from the right-back role. Simakan has accumulated 3 goals and 8 assists from his 34 appearances, and in our opinion, he could be a shrewd piece of business for the Red Devils. Simakan has had a productive season. He has particularly impressed in the cup competitions. He has 9 goal contributions in the Champions League and Pokal Cup. Meanwhile, the Frenchman has a pass accuracy of 82%, which is quite good, considering he has been constantly rotated between the centre-back and right-back roles. The Marseille-born star is strong with contested ground and aerial duels. He has won an impressive 60% of his duels in all competitions for the German outfit. In our view, Simakan's versatile ability would make him an ideal signing for the Red Devils. He could be a handy rotation option for Erik ten Hag in 2 defensive positions. Simakan is currently valued at €28 million by Transfermarkt. For that price, he would be a bargain signing in today's market, and United must get hold of his signature. The Red Devils are close to securing Champions League qualification, and this should aid their pursuit of the versatile defender during the summer transfer window. Manchester United now have the perfect opportunity to strike and sign Casemiro's successor. With Southampton's relegation confirmed, Manchester United should push ahead with the plans to sign Romeo La Villa. Casemiro helped steer Manchester United towards another clean sheet at the weekend, the team's 16th in the Premier League this season. The Brazil international has been an important addition to the Red Devils this season, but when he has not been available, there has been a striking drop-off in quality. Southampton's relegation was confirmed at the weekend, and this has the potential to help Manchester United. One player who has stood out as a potential successor to Casemiro this season has been Southampton prospect Romeo La Villa. The Mail reported Manchester United's interest in the midfielder in March. The Saints signed La Villa from Manchester City last summer for just £14 million. Despite the relegation, the 19-year-old has stood out as a talented prospect. He impressed in both games against Manchester United this season, the 1-0 win at St Mary's and the 0-0 draw at Old Trafford. Paul Scholes told BT Sport back in August, "I was surprised when City let him go. I think he is good enough potentially. He has got a pass in his locker. And he is big and strong and likes to defend. He does not want to get forward too much and sits in front of the back four and sets the play in motion from there. While City have a buyback clause, this can only be activated in 2024. Manchester United must push this summer to try and get a deal done. La Villa's price will be reduced as a result of Southampton's relegation, and he will also be keen to play in the Premier League next season. In terms of finding a long-term successor to Casemiro, La Villa's profile is ideal. The teenager is young enough that he won't expect to be a regular starter every single week, but he will play frequently through the season. Take Tyrell Malacia as comparison. He has been the backup to Luke Shaw at left back and has still played 33 games throughout his first season at the club with rotation necessary. United need to start using Casemiro a little more sparingly, considering that he has just turned 31. This can only happen if there is a suitable alternative. La Villa is a strong contender, and Southampton's relegation will have the Sharks snapping around their talented players. Manchester United must make sure they are ready to bite. Inter Milan CEO suggests Manchester United target Lautaro Martinez will remain in Italy. Inter Milan CEO Marotta has given the strongest indication yet that Lautaro Martinez will remain at the San Siro beyond this season. Marotta was questioned by Gazzetta about Manchester United's links to Martinez. The People's Person covered a report which indicated that the Red Devils are actively monitoring Martinez's situation ahead of a possible swoop when the transfer window opens. An earlier report detailed United's interest in offering up Anthony Martial as part of a deal to bring the World Cup winner to Old Trafford. Erik ten Hag is in desperate need of a striker, and this position is the club's main transfer priority. The other names that have been widely mentioned to be on Ten Hag's radar include Victor Osimhen and Harry Kane. Marotta has, however, seemingly closed the door to an Old Trafford switch for Martinez. In an interview with Gazzetta, the Inter CEO remarked that Martinez is a possible future captain and he is still very much part of the project in Milan. Marotta said, I think there are all the conditions for Lautaro to become our future captain. During Inter's 2-0 win against AC Milan a week ago in the Champions League, Martinez donned the armband as Inter ran riot against their rivals. This season, the 25-year-old has managed 20 goals and 5 assists in 35 Serie A appearances. In all competitions, Martinez has notched 24 goals and 9 assists in 51 games. He is a proven striker with solid credentials. For United, however, there is no time to get stuck on one particular target, especially in the face of significant obstacles. United should move on to the next man on the club's list. Adrien Rabiot's arrival at Old Trafford could spell the end of Marcel Sabitzer's stay. Manchester United are likely to reinforce their midfield during the summer's transfer window, and it has been claimed that Juventus' Adrien Rabiot is the priority target for manager Erik ten Hag. Ten Hag was keen on signing the France international at the beginning of the season. A transfer fee was agreed with the Bianconeri, but United could not finalize personal terms over a transfer. Rabiot has since enjoyed a transformative season with Juventus. He has been one of their best performers with an impressive 11 goals and 4 assists from 44 appearances in all competitions. The midfielder looks set to leave on a free transfer when his contract expires in June, and it has been reported that he is an important target for Ten Hag and United are pushing to sign him. In our opinion, a Bosman deal for the 28-year-old could have a direct impact on Marcel Sabitzer. Sabitzer was a late loan signing from Bayern München in January after Christian Eriksen's injury setback. The Austrian has fared decently with 3 goals and 1 assist from 18 outings, but he has been a regular on the bench ever since Eriksen made his return from an ankle injury last month. The former Leipzig captain has impressed with his work rate and high pressing, but has lacked the technical quality. He has created just 3 big chances over 1,000 minutes at United. Sabitzer has also managed less than 1 key pass per outing. There are no surprises that manager Erik ten Hag was initially keen on loaning Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern München last winter. Rabiot would be an upgrade on Sabitzer for next season. The World Cup finalist is better with his distribution, tackling, as well as his ability to win ground and aerial duels. While Sabitzer could cost as much as £30 million this summer, Rabiot is available on a free transfer. He would be an intelligent signing to save funds for the purchase of a marquee striker. Hence, Rabiot's arrival could pave the way for Sabitzer's return to the Allianz Arena. We won't be surprised if one of Scott McTominay, Fred, or Donny van de Beek leave as well. I will be uploading daily Manchester United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.